Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the first episode of a show I like to call "Who Left the Gate Open" with yours truly, Tom Kaczor. What this show is going to be a little bit about is diving into the agricultural community. Getting the ins and outs. God, just everything people are wondering about. I would say I'm a great host because I don't know a lot, haven't seen a lot. So I'm going to bring folks on that are going to kind of, be entertaining to talk to. I'm hoping to make the episodes entertaining myself by being witty and just lacking just absolute knowledge in most of the fields. I'm just joking. I will hopefully have a good understanding of what we'll be discussing in the episode. Yeah, nothing too crazy. From my seat, I'm doing this show coincidentally from a Caribbean island. It's pretty, ironic. I'll be talking to folks in the Midwest about the agricultural community, and I'm in the middle of the Atlantic, so hopefully that will keep my knowledge pretty fresh. You know, I hope that it educates some as well because it's great to know the ins and outs of agriculture. It's a big part of the world, a big part of the community where I grew up. I work in it every day with producers and landowners in my job myself. So we're just trying to, dig deep, really get in there and, just see what folks might have to educate us. I know it's going to be hard to bring some folks on. Some guys aren't the easiest to talk to, but hopefully with my, amazing conversation skills, I'm able to break through those barriers and really just, break guys open and learn some knowledge for everyone. I'm doing this for a community of folks. So I've kind of got a list of stuff I'm going to go through with this first episode of kind of what the show will be about. Yeah, what I do in the agricultural field is work with folks on the excess fertility side. I'm not going to dive in and give everybody, I'm not that great at my job. I try hard. I try real hard. But am I, top salesman? God, no, But I'm young. I'm learning. That's the best part. Got plenty of life to, screw up, learn new things from other folks. Yeah. So I'm doing this on the side. I was kind of selected by a group of folks I work with to do this because I guess I'm doing well by just ripping stuff off the cuff, I guess everybody's in still a little starstruck. I had a couple too many at my buddy's wedding last summer, and I got up there and ripped debatably the greatest speech ever given at a wedding ceremony. I don't like to give myself my own flowers, but it was pretty phenomenal. I think many folk can agree with that if you were there to see it. So yeah, that's why I'm kind of on the mic here. I will be doing these episodes by myself, so that's gonna be a little tough because I'm not very old. I haven't seen a lot of great podcasts. The host have usually seen a thing or two, and so they have a really good story. But if I'm gonna dive into stories, it's probably gonna be f ups, just screwing something up so god dang bad that people start scratching their heads and wonder what I got going between the ears. And I'm fine. I'll put my hand up and I'll say, I messed up. Back in the day when I was doing the mess up, I'd probably want to hear a jury on it and say, did I really mess that up? Yeah. Now I go back and I was doing a lot of big time screw ups. Just like you just sit there. If you're my Uncle Jason, who will be listening to these podcasts, he'll probably get a kick out of most of the stories. Just because, God, that guy had to show up with a couple of things I did, being one of his employees and just saying shit. This kid just, he's out to lunch just with a lot of stuff I'm giving him. I'm just kidding. I was an okay employee. I tried real hard. I showed up on time most times. And, they say that's about 80% of it. So that was a good time. But now I have switched to a different role in life. My girlfriend is attending veterinary medicine school, pursuing her dream of being a vet. So I tagged along with her here to the island. So I'm experiencing some new stuff, different lifestyle, because, I grew up in the Midwest, farming, ranching community. So I'm seeing some new things, but God, not a lot I don't know. America's so awesome. I'm just going to throw that out there, and we're just going to, I'm not going to get political because, once again, I'm not old enough to know squat about, politics or anything. So we're not going to dive into that. What I work with in the day-to-day field, I guess, is assisting producers and landowners who have recently purchased any agricultural ground, and just assisting them in pursuing opportunity they have as far as a deduction goes on that ground that a lot of people don't know about. So I work with that every day, doing that, learning more about that. So I'm just trying to do good at my job and just learn a lot of things in the ag world that a lot of people don't know about. And that's another kind of point of this show. There's a lot of stuff as a young guy that a lot of young folks may tune in this and learn a thing or two, because I know coming up on the farm, there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that doesn't just include changing oil in something or going out and checking cows. There's a lot of numbers in the farming world and a lot of hidden stuff. So hopefully we're gonna broaden our horizons on that as well, and hopefully have a good time doing it. Crack a couple of jokes. I'd love to get on here and rip about 6 beers. I feel like I'd be a 10 times better host if I did that, but I'm not going to. I'm going to keep it, keep it clean, I'm going to keep the language as clean as I can, I'm not going to say I'm going to slip up and say shit every once in a while. Like this goddamn chair keeps squeaking. I may lose my marbles on that in a minute, but if I quit moving around, we're just, we're going to be loose. We're going to be fun. Hopefully we're going to talk to some interesting folks. I just pulled up a list via Chat GPT and pulled up some, topics to talk about in this first episode to really, grasp what we'll be talking about. And it's coincidentally, why are you qualified to host this? And I'm not one bit. Most people get on these ag podcasts and they cross their arms and they sit there and they go, oh yeah, and they, I'm going to be a little more loose with it. I don't know a lot. So we're going to have fun. We're going to have a good time and just do our thing. I'm definitely not qualified. When I was a sophomore in high school, I worked for the local radio station, and you can call it what you want. Let go or fired. I used to work Saturday mornings, and I went in one day and I really, just, accountability wise, I didn't really know what to do per se. And the station went down, and I wasn't too eager to, fix the problem because I thought it was all, in the shade, cool, whatever. It wasn't really my problem. And I worked that Saturday. I know I got through. I had an okay radio voice, I guess. But, working there, there's a lot more that meets the eye. Shout out to the top dog in country, Mr. Scott Posey, because there's a lot of controls. And I'm hoping that I'm not yelling in this microphone or anything because I got a lot to learn about all this equipment yet. But I hope I get it all figured out and it's best listening quality. I live in a third world country. My landlord's got these little yipping dogs, so if you hear a dog yipping out in the background, I apologize for that, but I got no control. I'd love to go, throw a muzzle on those things, but that's out of my hands. So we're just gonna go with that. But yeah, qualification, really none there. But we're gonna do our best. That's all we can really do. Who I will be hopefully getting on here and having a good conversation with. I got a great upcoming episode coming up with a guy who I won't say his name yet, so we can just live in the suspense. It'll be awesome. But he does some social media stuff in the ag world, rancher. And he posts Facebook reels. He posted a day in the life of kind of a Sandhills rancher on YouTube. Great guy. I love his content. I've been watching his content for a while, so I'm gonna have him on, and we're just gonna have a good time. He emailed me and said, what should I expect? And I told him, I said, hey, man, we're just going to make it like I sat down at the bar and we're just going to, say we have 4 or 5 cocktails and we're just going to let it, be a little loose. Like we're just sitting there, I'm just asking about his operation, how it works for him, what things are working, what things, could be improved for him. We're not going to bring anybody on here to scrutinize, because the smartest person on the show will be the other person I'm talking to. There will never be an episode where I'm going to be the smartest guy on this thing. So we're going to acknowledge that, and I'm going to own that. I'll probably screw up a lot. Probably ask a really stupid question, and there's probably going to be somebody listening and be like, "Good God, he didn't know that." But I'm just going to ask because I'm gonna stand up for all the the farm kids out there, that just don't want to look stupid. I'll be that guy, fellas. I'll take that on or ladies, listening group can be all ages, all, genders. But yeah, I'm gonna take those on the chin. And if I ask a stupid one, my guest may stop and say, good God, this kid got anything between the ears? But, that's what I was, kind of informed to do, ask the stupid questions, learn the tough stuff. So yeah, this should be pretty good. Let's see who I'm gonna have on. Yeah, hopefully some local guys in the fertilizer business. Hopefully I can wrangle in some sale barn guys, guys working cattle, guys that work with me as well. We have a lot of great people at our company. That know a lot and can help producers a lot with some kind of numbers games in their operation. And I'm not telling, I'm not going to come and shove my company in anybody's throat, okay? That's not what this is about. There's a lot of podcasts out there where companies start their own podcast. They just name it their company. What a joke. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not trying to, get in any turf wars with those guys. But what's the point? Any guy you're gonna have on is gonna talk good about the company they work for, and any guest they got on, they're like, "Oh God, we worked with you, and it was a blast." Like, I'm not aiming for that. I'm not here to boast up my company. It's not what it's about. It's not what we started this for. You may see my company name involved in some stuff, but it's not what it's about. We're here to educate, and they put me at the helm. Hell of a bold move there, Cotton. But yeah, there's a lot of great people we work with. A lot of people that have been doing it for quite some time. So we're gonna hopefully get some of those folks on and discuss with them the tough questions. Yeah, but just anybody who has a guest idea that would be interesting to listen to in the local area of Midwest, North Central Nebraska, or anybody, anywhere. I'll talk to anybody. Like I said, I'll ask the stupid questions. I'll try to be best prepared as I can to have valuable questions for that guest that we have on. But yeah, anybody, I'd talk to anybody, give me the guy running the sanitation truck, just get on and have a good time. They work in the ag world too. Probably joking, but any guest, I got a lot of episodes to fill here. I'm not on a quota either. Not doing this for the money, for the cash flow, which I can see this, ain't no mountain high enough, climbing up, maybe making this a full-time deal, but let's not get the cart before the horse. But yeah, anybody ag-related, and it's just like, anybody with any knowledge that a 23-year-old kid would not know, or just, somebody interesting. I don't know anything about pigs, sheep, goats. I know a little bit about the cattle business, but like I'd like to have a pig guy on. That'd be interesting. I don't know the whole process of that. I know it's kind of tough. A lot of death rates, high death rates. So that'd be interesting. Massive feedlot guys. How does it work as far as labor? how do you get all your resources? What does that look like? Just stuff like that, you know. We're just trying to have good conversations here. And we're gonna joke around. That's kind of what I'm hopefully bringing some comic relief. Maybe, you know, have my guests giggle a little bit, if it's a joke I crack, or maybe how bad of a job I'm doing, and I'm just, you know, I'm just swinging and missing. But yeah, it should be a good time. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, yeah, and we're not looking to, you know, harp on anybody. If I get somebody on and they do something one way and you disagree with it, and you know you don't see why they're doing it that way, that's perfectly fine. But just keep it to yourself. Obviously, if somebody is working in the ag community and they have been able to make it their full-time occupation, they're probably rolling enough money each year to continue to do that. So maybe don't knock their methods, we could say, you know. I'm not trying to sound like a dick here, but you know, just don't get on and rip in the comments that's stupid, or why would somebody do it that way. We don't need that. We're here to educate. We're here to have a good time. Yeah, but we're gonna try and learn the realest of the real. You know, I want to hear the bad times. You know, as much as I hear the good times, it's what's going right, what's not going right. You know. So yeah, we're gonna hopefully dig into that, and I hope guests will be open to that. I know, like I said, my first guest I think will be really good. Following up on that, yeah, just let me know who would be interesting to have on. I'll hopefully have a couple more people lined up by the time I finish that coming episode. But yeah, just any suggestion helps. But what else do we have here that we kind of got written down? And I'd love to just have any regular rancher, farmer on. You know, we're not gonna, go to drive down a dirt road and have everybody on the road come on and do an episode. But yeah, guys that just do it into every day, and maybe have some different practices. That'd be ideal. Because if everybody does everything the same way, that'd be really goddamn boring, and we're not going for that. I'm not trying to do that. We're trying to keep it loose, but educating. And most of the stuff I say isn't gonna educate a wall, but somebody's got to have a conversation with these people. So as I go down, hopefully you folks listening will enjoy what I have to say. God damn, I feel like I'm saying I'm a lot. That's pissing me off. I gotta work on this, okay? This isn't my, I haven't been doing this a while. I'm ripping this. I don't have a word. God damn it, I did again. So, I'm gonna probably wrap it up here. We're gonna wrap it up. Who Left the Gate Open, episode 1, with yours truly, Tommy Kaczor. I'm gonna try and get some social media accounts up and going with hopefully some clips when we do the interviews and stuff. I will be posting this on YouTube and Spotify. Hopefully I can figure it all out. I'm hoping this program I'm using assists me with that. But for the first episode, I'd say I got in mostly what I wanted to talk about. And God, what was hoping to talk about. And so be looking out for our next episode. I will put this on some of my personal socials for people to give it a listen to. I didn't want to blabber on. I'm not trying to get on these podcasts and talk about me. There's not a lot to know about me. I'm not trying to, you get on some podcasts. I said this was the end, but I thought of something else. I'm not trying to get on this podcast and just share stories. In my opinion, what I think or anything like that. My goal is to have 5 minutes of me talking, and depending on how long length the episodes are, I'm hopefully going to get an hour out of them. 8 to 10 minutes of my shared thoughts. Hopefully it's just me ask a question, boom. I can spiel on for a while, and hopefully I'm good reacting to those where we can hopefully carry on a good conversation. Like I said, I'm a lone wolf out here, lone soldier. I got no co-host where he can, carry on a conversation for 3 minutes while I sit there and scroll on my phone or diddle-daddle, Diddle-daddle. What am I talking about? And I may be a little nervous, God forbid. Guy gets a little nervous, I got 19 subscribers on YouTube. A lot of ears going to hear this thing. So we are going to probably end it with that. I hope everybody is excited to tune in and see what we have coming up. I'm hopefully going to get that episode recorded. I'm recording this on Sunday night. I'm hopefully going to record probably, I'd say, twice a month. If I can keep the guests flowing, I'll shoot them as much as I can. I'll work on scripts and stuff, but we'll try and get as many episodes. Well, I'm going to try bi-weekly to start, but if I can do weekly, that'd be great. I'm not trying to turn this into a full-time gig. Like I said, I'm not doing it for the money. I'm doing it for pure educating purposes and entertainment somewhat. So I hope everybody is ready to tag along on this journey with me as I explore the agricultural world knowledge-wise. And I just hope I do a good enough job where everybody is wanting to hear what I'm getting folks on to talk about. So that's going to be it for now. I hope to see you on the next one.